Good morning, everyone. I'm glad you could stop by. We don't have anybody in the chat yet, but hopefully some people will stop by and we'll get some people in there. Um, Today we're going to be doing a face. It's kind of looks like to me it's underwater. I don't know. But this is the photo here. And I got this off of Pixabay. I think this is a great picture. I don't know how if I'm gonna be able to do it because I'm not real good with portraits, but I think we'll have fun anyways. Um, it'll be a challenge for me, and hopefully we can get it that it looks nice, you know. So right now I'm kind of just mixing a couple piles of paint. Um, I'm using the cyanine blue. It seems to really be a part of this painting. And I'm mixing 3 piles. I'm sorry I can't show you this. Um, and keeping one totally dark. But I've got 3 different shades of blue here out of all that. And we'll be using all of them. I'm thinking we'll probably be using it all. And I'm just mixing with my palette knife. And I would really like this to be a little lighter, this last pile, so I'm going to put more white into it. And I'm just using titanium white right now to mix. Now I've got my image traced onto the canvas, and that image tracing will be on Patreon. So for $1. All my tracings currently have been on Patreon. So if you join, it would be great. It just kind of helps me a little bit. I don't get much out of that by the time they take their cut. I only get about 63 cents, but every little bit helps. You can become a patron. So this is my lighter shade that I have, and I am going to just put some white on here in case I want to make it a little lighter. Alright, so we're going to start out here. Now this portion here is just going to be a little different. I'm going to try to get most of this in, just this side here, get most of that painted in, and then we'll work on this. You can see there's some image there, some eye, some eyebrow. It's very light in there, but I'm going to be trying to get this as a, with some cellophane. I think we'll try to work that in there. Hopefully that'll work. I'm not sure. It's a darker blue, and I know I have to do that last. I'm going to plan on doing that last. So I'm going to start out here with my, let's see, I have a filbert, and it's a number 6 filbert. And I'm going to start working here in this area. It's a little lighter through here. Her eyebrow is dark. So I'm going to start out with my lightest light. And we'll just get it right in here with this. And it just kind of goes like down in through here a little bit, just right above her eyebrow. And then right above that, it gets just a tad darker. So I'm going to go into my deeper mixture. I don't know if this is going to make a difference here. Oh yeah, it's a little bit better. It's a little darker. And perhaps I'll just go into my white just to kind of make that other part a little bit lighter. Last week we had a great crowd in here. I was so tickled by it. Many people stopped by. So hopefully today more people. Now next week I will not be here. I have something else that I'm doing, and I'm not going to be able to do my live, but you can look for it for the following week. Let me get a paper towel here and just wipe this off because I'm trying to get that just a little bit lighter. It's a highlight of some sort, and I want to get that as light as I can. And I may have to come back here to this, but I think I'm getting it now. This is just going to be very light through here. And it kind of blends up. It just goes over there. And this here just kind of follows around here a little bit. That's that little bit of deeper shade here. Works its way up, like feathers up. So I'm feathering that out. Just to come around here. Kind of feather it into that a little bit. A little bit of dry brush here. And right up and through there, it's perfectly white. So I'm going to rinse out my brush. Make sure you have your water handy. And I am going, now this is all pretty close to white, so I'm just going to use my white here. And kind of go over here this way. Now it's a little bit of blue in there, but that's okay because we want that. We want that blue in there. Just a tad. And it kind of trickles out. Just get that back in there like that. Okay. Now I'm going to go into my very deep blue. This is all done in that blue. So I'm going straight into my phthalo cyanine. Phthalocyanine. Boy, some of the stuff gets tough to say, doesn't it? Just totally dark here. Nice and direct here, making sure that it's nice and clean. But then it kind of feathers into that lighter blue, so we're gonna kind of get that feathered in there. Like that. Right in through here. Got that nice sharpness of that shade. It's a little dark there. It's because I'm not washing off my brush, so we want to make it a little lighter. A little deeper right in here, right where it starts to turn into the nose area. Now I'm going to rinse out my brush again because I don't want it that dark shade. We're going to try to get as much in here as we can as the form of this. Hello, Miriam. How are you? Oh, something happened there. You got retracted. I don't know what's going on, but it's nice to see you come in. I hope you stick around for a while. Hi. I'm trying to watch it on TV. Yeah, it's narrow only because of it being the phone. I'm not sure if I turn it, will it get bigger? Do you think? It might be sideways on your screen. Not to worry, you can sit and listen to what I'm doing, but I am taping this on another camera so that we have something to watch later. Unfortunately, with the phone, I don't know how to do that. I mean, it wouldn't fit into my holder. Yeah, I don't think it will. Landscape. I don't know if it does that or not. I don't see it. Let me see. No. No, it doesn't do that. What's this? Oh, that's the chat. Yeah, see, the chat's coming up. Now, okay, might help if you turn it. I don't know if I can do that with this. Let's see. It might not work with my holder, because my holder only does it with the, yeah, see, I can't stretch it that far. Oops. Oh, now it's, oh, cancel. Oh, hi. Okay, let me get that back. Yeah, I can't do it with my, unfortunately, I can't do it with my phone. But not to worry, like I said, because I will have this on a video that I am taping, and I will have that up sometime this week or next. I'm working on last week's, but I am actually taping this a little bit. I don't even know if getting it a little closer might be helpful. Let's see here if that'll do better. How's that? I don't know. Can you see that better, Miriam? Unfortunately, that's the best I can do. That's the best I can do. But stay here. Like I say, you'll get the pointers of how to paint this. You can refer back to this, and then once I get the other one up. Now, I don't know if you heard, but next week I'm not going to be here live. I try to do this every week. And unfortunately, I have another commitment. And I have to be offline that day because of it. Following week I'm on vacation, but I should be able to do a live. If not, I will certainly post that I'm not able to. I want this to be a little lighter, but it will get lighter. Okay, now I'm going into my this shade here of blue. I had pre-mixed all these, so I think I need to get, let's see, like this. And I did goof this up here right now, so I gotta fix that because this is kind of dark, so I'm gonna put the darker one in there. Her nose is in shadow. Divot is up here. Okay. And this comes down a little bit here. And my picture that I got was off of Pixabay. Settings. Okay, I might get disconnected, but let me see if this will work. Settings. There we go. Yeah, I can't get it to go. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, now I'm disconnected. Okay. Let's see. All right, we're back. Yeah, I could not get it there, Miriam. I could not find it. I'm really sorry. I don't know. I'll have to work at that and see if I can find it in there, but I could not find it. So I'm kind of at a loss now. Okay, so here we're going to add, well, let me rinse out my brush again. I want to blend this a little bit. Portraits for me are a challenge, so bear with me. I'm, I guess the phone's a problem too. Now I got a webcaster, which I'm trying to get it to work, and that's also becoming quite a challenge. Things aren't working out for me on that either. Hopefully will get it connected because I'd like to be able to show my palette. All right, so in this section over here, it's very light, right under the eye and around the eye. It's very light, so I'm going to get some of this in here. And it's almost white, so I'm just going to put this underneath this, and we'll get in there with some lighter shades here. Get my white. Very, very light here. But at least if I get some of this in, it gives me the idea of where I'm supposed to be. This is very, very dark, so I gotta keep that dark. And then we're coming in here with some dark, so I'm gonna get that in there too. Then it goes to a little bit lighter shade of dark. Okay. You're welcome, Miriam. Glad you're here still. Yeah, I kind of got disconnected there when I was trying to figure that out, but I can't find it on there, so I'll have to study it a little bit and see if I can find it. I used to be so good at that stuff, and I guess with not working in the office anymore and being in the computer world, uh, kind of lost a lot of my touch there with that. Just blending this all in to this darker spot here, kind of blending it towards this. Just kind of go softly with it. Just the softness. gonna rinse out my, well, maybe I can just go into my white, and that'll kind of give me that lighterness. Well, that's not too good. No, my white is very, it's very liquidy, so it doesn't have like as much opacity. So I am going to go over this though with white, because this has to be extremely light in here. As you can see, I'm just blending very lightly with my brush, just trying to blend all that in together. And now I'm going to get it. I'm going to put some of my basic white out. That's by Liquitex, the basic white. This is a little bit more opaque, and it should help. Ugh, that makes a lot of noise, doesn't it? It should get me more opacity as I go over this. There we go. This I need to get very light in here as her face feathers into it. Quite white in here, very light, and then it gets kind of a little bit more like it is there. So I'll keep working at that, just kind of blending this out too. Let me see here, it has to be this shade here of blue. Just gonna, I've mixed 3 different shades here so that we get some shadowing where it should be. And I'm just hitting it so lightly, ever so lightly. And right about here, it's like a dimple of hers, so I'm just gonna tap that with some dark. I'm losing it, so I wanna get that back in there again. In with my lighter, that in there so that looks like her nostrils. Get this kind of feathered into that, or maybe I should get the darker blue feathering up. There we go. Okay, now her lip area. Right in here, it's quite dark, right in this area. It's her upper lip, and it's in shadow. Now, this is only part of her lip. But I like to get all these dark shadows in first. And underneath here, exactly right in here, it's a little dark too. And it kind of cuts off this part of her lip. Kind of meets up here. So I'm just gonna kind of go in the direction of her lip, and this kind of just fades into that background that we're gonna be doing. Let me get a little bit of my next to dark shade, which is like most of this here. It's like in here. And it just kind of fades into that also. It's kind of neat how this is starting to come together. I mean, you can see her shadows and the effects just by doing a little bit of shading. This is kind of a good way, I think, to start to learn how to do these things. I have worked with oils. I do oils. I'm actually certified in the William Alexander Wet on Wet, and I'm a Wilson Bickford member. I haven't gone through any of his classes, but I can teach anything that he presents. I've taught in different venues. I've gone through Grumbacher. Needed to get my coffee. Grumbacher. I taught at Packetans. I taught at Hobby Lobby. I was teaching at Hobby Lobby recently, but with this Corona thing, I just don't want to get involved anymore. I'm not teaching right at this point. I don't know if I'll go back. I have to get an operation on my hand. My thumb joint is gone, so I have to get that reconstructed. And it's on my right hand, believe it or not. So I am just like really upset about the whole thing, but I probably will not be teaching for a while. Once that happens, I'm probably not even going to be able to do lives or anything for a while. I'll be out of commission. He said it's going to hurt. So I'm expecting it to hurt a lot. Yeah, I'm not excited. Not excited. Okay, now I'm going to get a highlight in there. Maybe I'll just use my angle brush here to get that highlight. I'm going to go right into my white. And this is a, oh gosh, Princeton. There's a number, half-inch angle. Okay. So I'm going to go right in here with this. Little bit of highlight right there. It comes down and meets right there. But this has to be a lot lighter. So we're going to work on that. Okay. And I'm going to get this light too. See, with this these darker paints, you have to kind of go a tad with the white because it'll mix with it. Bring it out. Just kind of bring it out like that. Then we can blend it in here because this has to be lighter too. So. Just get that little bit of light. I know that I have to come back to that. Now, one key thing is you never leave your brushes in the water. Just rinse them out. Don't leave them in there because it will. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm a little worried about it because he said, you know, right now I'm working, which is scary too. I cut hair, men's hair, and we've been opened, and yeah, I mean, people come in and I don't know if they're sick or not. You know, I'm scared, but You know, we just do what we have to do. I wanted to try to focus more on my painting, but it just, when I retired, but I just haven't been able to do that because retirement isn't exactly how you think it's going to be, unfortunately. So I just do this and then I can purchase my supplies better too. So, okay. And this needs to get a little bit lighter. And I am following this picture pretty closely as I do this. Just kind of blending it now a little bit into these areas. Coming down here, getting that shade in there. This here comes down a little bit and put this in there. Brush here, wipe it off. Get some of this in here because this is a little darker. Just kind of cuts into her cheek area. This is all about blending. You want to get this now, start to blend it. Get most of this. Trying to get that in there, blended nice. I might just wet that a little bit, trying to get that paint because it's starting to dry up. Okay, let's see where I am. Oh yeah, that's where I usually get my supplies too. Amazon is like my favorite place to go because it's quicker. I don't know how it is for you in Puerto Rico. Hobby Lobby, I can go up there when they have the sales. I use a lot of their paint for this, and I kind of like it. The paint that I really like is the thick body. It is really good, and I'm constantly going up there because it's very close. It's like 5 minutes from my house, you know, so my husband just loves it when I'm bringing home more stuff. He can't figure it out. You know how us artists are. I've got like so many things that it's like unbelievable. But I love doing this. I mean, it's just fun. It's relaxing. It's enjoyable. It's a time to just like forget things, you know. And I like it. I just like it. Okay, so this is all darkened through here. Her eye is very dark. I'm just going to put her eye in there now. Give her a little bit of, roundness here if I can. And over here, it's very dark. And this is her eye here, but it doesn't show as much over here. So I'm just going to put that socket in there and a little bit of her eyebrow here. Because this is all like very dark in here, and it comes in very, very dark. Kind of splashes in there. Yeah, that's what, well, I have been self-taught mostly. Um, I started painting when I was just like about 11 years old. I liked to draw, and I painted, and uh, I always enjoyed doing that. And we had a friend, and he showed me his oil paintings, and I thought, wow, this is really neat, you know. So I decided to um, start painting. Of course, back then, my mother didn't work. My father was the, you know, breadwinner, you'd call it, and it was hard for them to get me the supplies because even back then things weren't cheap, you know. Um, so I did it off and on. Well, then I went to college. I kind of went later in life. I was getting divorced, and I had uh, some children, and I thought, well, I needed to have something because my profession was hairdresser, cosmetologist, and they just didn't make money. I mean, you know, you'd starve. So now it's fine to go into that because it's not, you know, like it's not mandatory that I make a huge income. It's just, you know, I just want to do it for fun basically and for enjoyment. And anyway, so I took some art classes while I was in college, and I just loved it. Um, I almost minored in it, and I went to a Catholic college, so I didn't minor in it. I minored in theology. I just wanted to get out and be able to make an income for my children. So that's what I did. I just kind of left it alone for a while. And then as they grew older, I was able to get back into it again. And I joined some art leagues. That's a good way to learn too. You see other people's works. There's art leagues around where you're at, that's what I did. I joined some art leagues, and it was really a great experience because there were some really talented people. I always felt like I was less talented, but I practiced and I kept drawing and painting. I started out with pastels with that. Now, prior to that, I was an oil painter, and once I worked with them and saw how they painted and things, I did some pastel work. I did actually win an award for one of my pieces, and then I decided, well, because of my income being restricted on Social Security, I decided to just pick and choose certain places to belong to. So that's where I'm at now. I belong to a couple of leagues. I teach on YouTube, and even this helps me, like by doing this. Like you watch people. I've watched different people, and I thought, well, gee, I could probably do this without a problem. I think I can do this. So here I am, and it's been so much fun. I really enjoy doing this more so than any other venue. Now, I just started doing lives, which I was kind of a little hesitant. I was scared, being live and everything, but it's turned out to be a great experience. Um, I enjoy it. It's really fun for me, and challenging because I have to pick out something that people are going to enjoy watching, And this is different for me. This is different. Now, just like with this, I'm not into the portraitures, but I think this is coming along pretty well. I'm pretty impressed with it. It looks nice. And I think we'll enjoy the rest of it. It's going to be a good experience for all of us. All right, so anyway, I want to get this a little bit more white up here because this goes into a white. And I'm using my thicker white here. That other one I kind of used, I'm going to use just for these textures here. Okay, so I want to wet this a little bit, kind of just glaze this. Now glazing, you just mix some water in your paint and it gets really light. It's just kind of, it's like very watery, and you can just kind of blend all this together better. Glazing is important, especially in portraitures, because you don't want to have harsh lines. So it just kind of helps you blend all that. Rinse that out again. And I tend to get very messed up when I'm painting my hands. I'm not a very neat painter. Unfortunately, I just kind of, okay, this is kind of dark in here. And it comes in pretty good. There's not much of that light there. Just blend it out, and I'm going to actually do the same thing with that, get it a little watery and make a glaze, kind of just blend it into this. Because this is all darkened through here, so comes in there. It doesn't come in very deeply. As a matter of fact, this probably could be like rounded more. So where this meets that, we'll try to get this a little darker in through here. There we go. So in Puerto Rico, what is the situation with COVID? Oh, thank you. It is. It's starting to come along really good. Let's see. Oh. Wow. Oh, so that's great, Miriam. You're doing well if you got an award for that, because there is so much of the violence and depression, and it's just I tend to be more realistic as a painter. My younger daughter, she thinks more out of the box than I do, and she comes up with some pretty cool stuff. She's a painter. My oldest daughter now, she's a writer, and her creativity comes through in writing. So we've worked on a couple books. Well, I'm working on one book now. Let me show you this. I don't know if you've seen this before. It's called Summer Vacation. And you can find this on Amazon. It's by Nicole Leckenby, and I did all the illustrations in here. Actually, I don't do anything on the computer. Everything was hand-drawn. And we're working on a second book now, and it should be out by October. I'm working on it. His it's just the series. His little face has changed a bit. So he's going to look a little different. But it's still the same boy, you know. But it's been so much fun doing that. Like I said, I'm not much into the illustrations, but it has been a really good experience coming up with the image and trying to do that. It's been real fun, a lot of fun. Yeah, I was actually going to give it up. I got frustrated there for a while, you know. It just seemed like nothing was happening with my work. And I mean, there's so many people out there doing this, you know, and I thought, oh goodness, I just got really frustrated. And at the time, I was taking care of my mom. She passed away. But I was working on, actually, the piece that I got the award for. I was working on that, and she told me, don't ever give it up. So I'm in the room that she used to stay in doing my art. This is my art room now. And I feel she's with me all the time with art. She helps me out. And I pray before I do this too. I kind of just ask for help because, you know, I'm, I'm always learning, like I said, and I always want to do a good job for people and show them my technique and see how they manage to enjoy what they're doing. Now right in here, I'm going to use my angle because I need to really get close in here. I mean, there's a lot of darkness going on here. And it's kind of angled in. Comes down here. I'm going to get some of that to go up into the eyebrow area here. Gets lighter. Okay. And it comes around to, so I'm just going to do that with my angle brush here. And it's actually pretty dark in through here too, but there is a little bit of light. So we'll get that too, and it'll sort of pop that eye out a little bit. And that's her eyebrows actually. And then she's got like a little line that comes down here. And shows some of her eyebrows, but, or eyelashes I mean, but we don't have to do that. We can just kind of, okay. This is very, very dark. I might have to add a little bit of black in there, but we'll see. And her eye is sort of got that, it's not quite white in here, but we're going to put this in first. I'm just using that angle brush, wiping that off now. I'm going into my dark because right in here it's very, very dark. Very dark. Now I'm going to get some white. Just kind of get some, whoops, that's a little too much white. Just wipe that. Kind of just wanted to blend that a little bit more. I'll have to fix that. Fix that boo-boo. Now her eye, getting up there too far, her eye comes down more. It's almost like that. Okay. Okay, let's see here. We're gonna go in. I gotta flush that out because that blue is very intense. It is very intense. Just get that eye line in there. You gotta get that kind of like coming around. And I still gotta get that dark back in there, but this is kind of really bright in here. I'll get that a little lighter too eventually. Okay. Now I'm gonna make a little bit of a wash here with my white. So I can go over this a little bit more. Just blend that in there. Now this shadow underneath here of her nose kind of comes out a little bit. And it's very light in here, so I'm just going to use that wash. Kind of do that with this, just wash over it. I'm going to grab a little bit of my first mix and kind of just go in here like that. That's part of her nose. Okay, so we're coming down here into this little section where her nose meets the top of her lips. And I'm going to get some white and just kind of highlight that. Now that's another thing, it's going to have to dry a bit. And then this kind of sweeps away darker. It's all darkened through here. So we got to get that nice and dark. Okay. Wiping off my brush again. Oh, you visited. Okay, thought I was insane to have to explain how hard. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I know with all the issues like with those hurricanes that you've had and things that have happened, or I guess they were more like earthquakes, right? It would probably be even harder to get supplies. Can't be easy. Okay, I don't want to get out there too far with that dark because this kind of gets dark here. I'm going to just do that. All right. Now I'm going to get this where it's dark in here. I probably should mix a little black in there, but you know what, I don't want to do that. I just want to kind of keep this as dark as possible with the paint. Um, just kind of keeping it with just using this shade. Okay. I'm going to put that in my water for now. Let's see, let me get this cleaned off too. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. I mean, it's a little bit painterly looking, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna get my darker shade darker and just make a wash here. Kind of blend it into this better. Get some white. Push it in to this. Just gonna blend this more. All right, and come down here, this a little bit more. Okay, my dark. I find noses to be the hardest thing to do. I mean, the whole thing with portraits are kind of hard. Thing isn't easy. Okay. Blending that some more. And it's just back and forth. You just have to go back and forth to get this the way you want it. There we go. All right. Now let's just kind of blend up. Too much of the blue on there. Got to get that really highlighted in there. Very much. Very light in through here. Even into this part here. It's kind of blends into that darker shade there, kind of rounded her cheekbone. Very good. Shade here, just keep moving it around. Okay, let's get this one here, the shade darker with a little bit of white in it. There we go. Seems to actually get quite light out towards this piece here. So just kind of blend some of this now. Start to blend it a little bit better. This is going to be light, very light. And then that dark comes way in like, it just cuts in like, it just cuts in. It just cuts in. And I will putz and putz and putz, and it's kind of weird how I am. I don't mean to do that, but that's the way I paint. I go back and forth until I get it to the way I want it. and the way I like it. And it's very, I like this because it's very painterly. So I want this to kind of blend in here. Painting it in. Blending it. Just keep blending and blending. Darker under here. Just kind of comes in like that. Now I didn't do any kind of underpainting for this because I kind of just wanted to do it as the painting. Didn't want to kind of do anything that would mess up what we're going to do after here. I just want to kind of get this in. Just going to put some of that on for now. I don't want it to drip though. Just kind of get this smoothed in here. You have to really look at your picture very closely because here I see that eye, but yet it's just a socket. I mean, it's just not anything. It's just dark there. Same here. It just kind of just blends in with that. We can get some of that out there. That's just that straight blue. So that comes up into the lips. Very dark in here. Alright, so we got to get the lips in. I'm going to use this shade here. And right in here, we're going to use some of that too. Now this is probably where I'll stop talking because I'm really concentrating on what I'm doing. So if I get quiet, that's why. Now here I might use just a little bit of black to make that nice and dark through there, like a deep blue. It's pretty bad right now, Miriam. I'm in Pennsylvania, And my county has had over 200 cases every day. And once they went from yellow, we had like different steps. It was red, yellow, and green. And we were in the yellow stage for a while, a couple weeks. As soon as they went into green, things started to climb again. What happened is a lot of these younger people went to beaches for like a vacation, and then they came back and they went into the bars, and they noticed that people that had gone into these bars were really getting the COVID. So it has spread drastically, and I'm scared because I'm working, and I'm in the over 60 bracket, so it's kind of scary for me. I really don't know what's going to happen, you know, with this. It's, are you having the same issues there with the COVID? I'm sure that it seems they're saying that like certain countries are not as bad as us, and I attribute that to the one that's running the country, but you know, it just seems like not enough is being done. And for vaccines, now that's a nice dark shade, I like that. The vaccines are just, it's going to take a while for that to happen. I can't believe that by the end of this year we're going to have a vaccine, because with testing and everything, it takes a couple years to get a vaccine. So how are your numbers? Yeah, it's very scary. Very scary. I am not a real thrill about working, but there's not much I can do right now. I mean, I don't want to quit because I like it. You know, I do like it. But I was hoping that they would kind of like do something with this, you know, like, okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm still working on this face, but what I want to do is get some plastic wrap, and I get some cheap stuff. I don't, oh gosh, I hope I can find it again. Here it is. I get cheap plastic wrap because for my work, you know, we don't need an expensive plastic wrap. And the only bad thing with this one is it didn't come with a something to cut it with, so I have to kind of rip it, but I don't need a big piece. So what I'm going to do, I just crumple this up, and I'm going to spritz some of my white on my palette, and right where I put all this blue, I'm just going to tap it in and get, now I'm not going to get exactly like that, but it's still going to look like, and then I can splatter after. I'm going to go into some of my blue, kind of just get that, get this around her face. So I'm improvising with this, just to get that texture. Get it into that area of her face, kind of work it in. Because this all comes over her face. Just get it down in there. I don't want her chin to be that huge though. Let's see here. I can get that darkened a little bit. There we go. This is supposed to, I guess, look like she's in water or something. I still got to work on her lips. But I wanted to show you how I do this. Just getting some of this in here to help me out to see what it kind of looks like, you know. See, now that eye just kind of blends in there. I'm going to put some of this lighter stuff in. I'm just painting right now with this saran wrap. Okay, I'm going to put, now my hands are really messed up. Let me get my, oh, thank you. Oh, you've been on lockdown again. Huh. Well, see, they're afraid to do the lockdown again here because it seems like money talks. You know, the businesses, they're all carrying on. That they're, well, they are. I mean, they're losing. My son-in-law lost his job, and you know, over this, and it's just a mess. I mean, and now they want to open the schools up in the fall, and it's just not, I don't think it's great for little kids to be exposed to this. I mean, I don't know why they want to do that, you know. Yeah, I like this a lot. This is really cool, this picture. This is a little bit more out of my realm. I mean, I hope that when I put this other picture up for my video camera, I forgot I had that on, that I am not in the way too much, because I tend to do that. I get in the way because the way my camera easel's set up here. But yeah, it's been horrible for us. And you know, although we take precautions, I just wish that we would do a little bit more, just take it a little step further. We're just doing the minimum precautions at our work. And I wish that they would do a little bit more, but I guess they're just not going to do that. They're just going to go with the minimum and everything. So I'm mixing some more black into my phthalo-cyclinine. This might be real dark here, but that's okay because we'll go over it with light. It should be more dark at the edges anyways. So get that darkness in there. Very dark in through here. Okay. Now I'll get my saran wrap again. And go into some of my lighter blue here. Some white. See what happens through here. So I probably will have the tracing up on Patreon. I charge $1 for that, just because it takes me time to get it on there, just like this is. This is the free part, but you know, $1 isn't too bad. I only get 63 cents out of that, so it just helps me to buy the paper and stuff like that. And that should be up this weekend, I'm hoping. All right, so I'm going to just blend a little bit more of her face in here with the white. I want to get some more white, and then I want to highlight some of that area too. So with her lips, I'm going to get a small bright. This is a, oh gosh, number 4 bright, and I'm going into her lip area with some light. Right in here, we're going to kind of get that lighter. Comes down. Now I'm kind of dry brushing this, so just to kind of get this little bit of highlight in here. Kind of goes up this way. It comes down. Okay. Get some more dark in her lips. Dark in here. Kind of lost some of that dark. Okay. And always your bottom lip is a little bit darker than your top lip, or lighter, I mean. And we're trying to get that happening here. A little darker here. Should come up. Okay. Now this dark underneath. Some of that coming up into the lip. Out a little bit. Okay, let's get some more dark in there. This hair comes out. Okay. Now let me see if I can get some of these eyelashes. If I dry brush, it kind of helps to get that darker. I'm going to put more dark in here. Okay. And dry brushing really helps to change things. It just, these are like her eyelashes coming off of here. Okay, and in here it's very dark, very, very dark. Just a speckle of light there, which I'll put in. And let me get some white. Hope this doesn't, well, it can be a touch of blue in there, so it's all right. I'm gonna get that dark again. in through here again, because this is really kind of dark in through here. Very dark. And I may add a little black into that just because I need that to be very dark. Same with this area here in her eyebrow. It needs to be very dark. And that black is just enough to, and that is Mars Black, which was a Galleria color. Okay. Ooh, yeah. This is really shaping up. Okay, now I'm going to get a little round brush here. Oops. And this is a number 4 round. I want to just get a little white in the corner of her eye there. Right here. And definitely right in here. I got to get that a little bit whiter here. Come around here with this. A little bit darker. That should be pretty dark in through there. In through here, it should be very, very dark till it hits that area there. Okay. All right, so now I just want to get this a little bit lighter and smoother. So I'm going to go back to my filbert. I'm going to wipe it off. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it looks really cool, doesn't it? Now I'm going to splatter a little bit too. I want to splatter this somewhat. Okay, we need to get some white up in here. Kind of lost that. Just kind of tap it out a little bit, tap it in, just to blend it. Okay. And same with this blue. I'm going to just tap it in around here because it really needs to be blue in through here. So I'm just tapping it in. Like that. And let's have some of that in over here also. Yeah, I love it. Oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. I'm just going to get a little, I'm going to go with that little round brush again. I want to get a little bit of white in on these little Cupid's bow. And, oops. Didn't clean that too well. Let's see if I can clean it with my wipe. This kind of needs to be a more white too, so I'm going to go into my white. Just kind of highlight that more. Come down with my Cupid's bow and around her lip. And this kind of is okay. That's good, because that just kind of is a little thing to blend anyway, so this is fine here. We can just kind of blend that up a little. And get some of that darker shade here. And my blue, darker blue here. Okay, I want to get that really dark on her nose especially. Like right in here. Because it comes around. It's a little lighter in the center. But it should be kind of like a little bit more blended down into this here like that. And get this darker in the nose area. Because that's like the shadow part of her nose. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to just go into my white again. Hopefully this will be clean enough. And I'm going to just kind of blend some more of that white in there, because that really has to be light. See if it'll blend here. Just on her cheek area. Just kind of lightly blending it. And as we get down here, that is like kind of a bluish shade there. And just put some water to this so I can just kind of just want to glaze this, just kind of cover it a little, glazing. I think we're almost done. I just have to splatter. So I gotta get my splatter brush. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these. It's a splatter brush. And if I mix enough water in my white, I should be able to splatter, but I gotta watch that I don't splatter her. So, this is gonna be interesting, won't it? Okay, so I'm wetting my white. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get a little bit of my saran wrap. Okay, this is probably not going to even go on her too well because it has that terrible. If I can just kind of like go like this a little bit, see if that'll hold on her. So if it's a nice watery mixture, nice consistency, it should splatter on there very nicely. There we go. Woo, that's kind of neat, isn't it? Kind of has some interesting splats. And that's fine because this thing has a lot of goofy stuff going on in it anyway, so the splatterings that I'm doing kind of almost match that. Yeah, I really like this. Splatter some up here too, because she has some splatterings over this way, not into her eyes though. I don't want to get that. And I do want to put a little bit of white. Well, I'm going to get my little round brush again, and I want to just put it in this section in her eye. It's not going to show white. I mean, it's going to be more of a bluish, but it's going to be lighter, and I want to get that here and just kind of dot it through here, and I want to get it right here, just a little bit. Now it's not even going to show that it is white there, but you have to have a little highlight in there somewhere. And just these little finishing touches, just a little bit of blue, and I'm going to have this come down. That's like the eye part there. Would be nice if I could do it straight, huh? Okay, let me get that now. Eesh. Get a little heavier white here. Just kind of get that. Okay, now I still have a little too much white here, so I'm going to go into my lighter blue just a little bit. Kind of come down here a little. The nose blue. All right. And this blue here, it's starting to dry out, which is not good. Just using my round brush, a little bit more control with it. Okay, let me step back. Yes, I love it. I love it. Thank you. Let me just show you what a frame on that would be like. Just kind of putting that in there. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that'd be awesome in there. Woo. Let me get my fingerprints all in it. Let's see. Even a white frame would be, oh, set that off, but that is so cool. All right, so I'm gonna just sign this now, this painting. Normally I sign it on the left side. Let's see, I think I have a red marker. Let me get that. I think I can use a Sharpie on that. I have a red Sharpie. Because I want it to stand out because it's dark. I don't know how this will be. Yeah, you can't even see it too much, but that's all right. And I can lighten it up later with a lighter shade. All right, well, I guess that calls it a day. I hope you enjoyed this, Miriam, and thank you for staying. I appreciate it. It was nice talking with you, and I hope you come back in 2 weeks. I'll be doing something else. I'm not sure exactly. Some people wanted me to do a beach scene, a giraffe. It's kind of like very easy. The giraffe. Someone posted lips in the sky. It was like a cloud. So I'm going to see what I can do. I'm not sure if I want to do those, but it might be something that I will do. And last week, I don't know if you were here last week, when I had finished this painting, I had the background in yellow. Well, I kind of darkened it up, and I think that made that stand out much better. I didn't do the bokeh on this part. I'm still deciding if I want to do that. But that was my bird, the heron, and he turned out pretty nice too. So I got to get a couple frames because, like, I put these on Etsy. If people want to buy them, they can. I basically will charge probably about $75 for these because of the frames. The frames are what cost more. But yeah, this I'm thrilled with this. This is really pretty. I didn't think I could do it, but there we go. We did it. So, much happiness here. Very happy. And I will look to see if I can figure out how to do that where it's a landscape, because I can't stand this doing it in that little thing. And I got this webcaster and I can't figure out how to set it up yet. So I'm going to try. Okay, great. Yeah, you can, I have the, I'm working on the video instead of the live. We had quite a bit of people last week, so it was a lot of fun, a lot of talking going on. But one person is good with me. I'm happy that you stopped by. So if you can share it and give me a like, I'd like that. If you make a comment, that would be awesome. And until 2 weeks from now, we'll see ya. Have a good one. Bye.